Hello, my strange and charmed ones. Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today, I wanted to quickly address a topic that I get emailed many questions about on a daily basis, and that is how to start an online shop. Since I'm someone who does have their own online shop where they sell their own products, and I guess because I'm so visible within the planner community, so many people come to me asking me how they can start their own shops. I know a lot of you either make planner supplies or inserts or accessories, or want to resell stickers or make your own stickers and sell them online. There are so many of you who are so crafty and creative and really want to start making money online from their crafting hobbies. So I wanted to take some time to address some important things, some important steps that you would need to take if you were interested in starting an online shop for yourself. First off, let's address who this video is for. This video is really for anyone who wants to get started with an online shop, right? So I'm taking this from the viewpoint specifically of someone who might want to start a shop that has planner-related supplies in it, because that's really who ends up emailing me the most, are people who want to start a shop for planner supplies. So my responses and the guidance that I'm going to give you guys today are going to be pretty specific to that niche of online shop. So I do think that other people who want to start an online shop, if you want to sell other goods and services, this may also be helpful for you, but I'm really looking specifically at ways to help planner supply shop owners, like sticker shop owners, people like that who want to start a shop online, but just really don't know how to get started. Now, what is it that you're going to learn in this video? In this video, I'm going to share with you guys some of the popular platforms for hosting your online shop. I'm going to talk about product development, which is obviously very important. I'm going to explain some very basic business models that apply specifically to shop owners who are, again, within that umbrella of planner supply shop. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about market research and why you're going to want to do that. I'll talk about a very big issue, which is actually very complicated, and hopefully I'll be able to simplify it for you. That is pricing. And finally, I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can get more help and assistance from me and work with me directly on getting your shop started, if that's really something that's important to you. I realize that not everybody is going to need my help. Most people, I think, are going to be able to do this on their own, but I know that there are definitely a few of you out there who'd really benefit from working with someone who has an established shop and who really is in the business of educating other online shop owners. So we'll talk about that at the end in case this doesn't apply to you. I want to make sure that you have time to exit out the video before we get into that topic. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Now, the first thing that you need to think about when you're about to open an online shop is what platform you want to use to host your shop. Now, there are a lot of third-party platforms out there, like Etsy and eBay and Big Cartel. There's so many different, basically instant shop websites that make it easy for you to basically put up a storefront and sell your wares. Now, third-party websites are a great way for beginners to get started with shops because they tend to be more high traffic sorts of websites. So eBay gets a lot of traffic and Etsy gets a lot of traffic, and you're pretty much guaranteed to be getting some traffic to your site, which can be really valuable when you're just starting out. Now, on the other hand, however, third-party platforms do come with a few caveats. Namely, you do end up having to pay them a percentage of your income, of whatever you make selling your items in your shop. And you also have to abide by their rules. Now, for most of us, abiding by the rules won't be a problem. But if you create original art or anything that might come under some sort of intellectual property debate, any of those third-party websites, if they get any sort of inquiry about your shop, or someone thinks that you are infringing on intellectual property or anything like that, even if you are or you are not, those sorts of third-party platforms tend to be very harsh on the shop owners who allegations are being brought up against. So really, when it comes down to it, you don't have full control over your shop. Places like Etsy or eBay can pull listings if they get flagged, even if they're flagged for something ridiculous. So that is something really big that you want to make sure that you're watching out for. Now, the second option that you have for platforms is the type of platform I use, which is using your own self-hosted website. I happen to host my shop myself through WordPress. WordPress is the software that I use to run my blog as well as my shop. So that is my preferred method of creating a shop. Yes, it means that you need to do a little bit more work. Yes, it's not necessarily for beginners, but it does give you way more control over your shop, and it also gives you much tighter grasp on your income. So you don't have to split your money with anybody, which I happen to really be a fan of. So those are your options for platforms. Obviously, you want to weigh the pros and cons and how they apply to your situation, but that's the first thing I think you want to think about. Now, obviously, the second thing you need to think about is developing your products. You're obviously going to need something to sell if you're going to be an online shop owner. And developing products really, in my opinion, requires a little bit of finesse. I think that there's a lot of people out there, and especially since there's such a low barrier to entry with sites like Etsy and eBay that allow anyone to just sign up and start selling goods, I think that it really matters for a shop owner to really be doing their work and developing the right products so that they can be successful in their endeavors. So think about what it is that you're selling. Make sure whatever you're selling is something that you think people will want to buy, and make sure you are thinking about the quality of your items because much too often I think, and if you've ever shopped on Etsy or eBay, you may have experienced a time where you bought from a shop and the products were just no good. So you really want to avoid kind of falling into that trap of just because it's a low barrier to entry doesn't mean that you should really be selling anything and everything you can. I really would caution you to really take pride in your shop and take pride in the products or services that you're going to be offering and really do your work developing some good products. Next, I think it's important for you to have a basic understanding of the type of business model that you're going to use to sell your goods. Now, this is not business plan per se. Business plan, you could Google that. It's easy enough to find how to make your own business plan online. But I'm talking about business model, which is basically the way that you set up your business and the method by which you intend to get an income. So for people who are selling planner-related goods, I've pretty much established that you're probably going to fall into one of three categories. Of course, with business models overall, there are dozens of different categories for business models, but I think for the most part, anyone who's starting an Etsy shop now, just trying to sell goods online, especially planner-related supplies and things like that, will fall into one of three categories. Oh, no, and Starbuck has decided to join us. Are you going to sit here with Mama and watch the video? Okay, so just ignore him while I continue talking. So the first model that you may fall under is the resale model. Now, this is a business model where you're buying products in bulk to sell at a higher price individually for a profit. So, there's lots of websites online where you can buy stickers, you can buy planner supplies and pens and all that jazz. Usually these are from Asian or overseas sellers if you're in the US or in Europe, but you can buy items in bulk at a lower price and then resell them on your shop. So that's a resale model. So basically you're not doing any work with putting together products. You're literally just sourcing products and shipping them out to your buyers as orders come in. The second model that you may fall under is the manufacturing model, which is when you yourself will actually source materials to actually create a product. So, and a good example of this would be for anybody who maybe maybe makes custom dividers or dashboards for planners, right? You're going out and you are picking up supplies, maybe from a wholesaler, maybe just from your local craft store, and you are putting together a product yourself and then shipping them out as people place orders. So that is a manufacturing model. And the third model that may apply to some of you is the passive or digital products model, which is pretty much what I use, which means that I create digital products that I only have to make them once and I can continuously resell them in a very passive way, which means that I don't actively have to create anything whenever someone places an order, and I don't have like an active stock of goods or things to ship out. I have digital products that basically are for sale on my shop, and people really have the ability to self-service themselves, order what they want, the files get emailed to them, and I get paid, and I do very little work after files have been created and put up on my shop. So that is an option for any of you guys who are selling maybe digital products like planner inserts or even designs for covers of like an Erin Condren planner or, you know, dashboard designs, things like that would fall under that sort of digital or passive income model. So basically the takeaway for that is just identify which business model applies to you. You may want to do more than one business model, but I would start with one and try to get a grasp on that and then move on to other models as you see fit. Now, the next thing you're going to need to know to start a shop is really how to do market research. And market research is essentially where you just go out there and you research what the trends are, find out who your competition is, what consumers want, basically by directly talking to your consumers. So I know a lot of people are involved with a lot of planner community Facebook groups, and they may see inquiries from different consumers that are looking for specific products. This is a great way to do some market research and get in touch with some consumers who you may be able to fill the needs of by creating or sourcing specific products that they're looking for. Now, when you're doing market research, there's a few things that you're going to want to find out. First, you want to find out who your competition is. You want to see who else is out there creating products or selling products that are similar to yours. Now, this isn't really for any sort of competitive edge, right? But you just want to see how saturated the market is, in my opinion. I firmly believe that, you know, there really is no good competition for good products. I think that there's so much business out there, especially in the planner community, that it's very possible for there to be hundreds of people who are creating products and services for planner people. So don't let competition deter you, but you definitely want to know what else is out there, hopefully so that you can fill any gaps that you see in any of these other shops. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you are making sure that people like, need, or want your products, right? So obviously you may want to interact with some of the consumers in whatever Facebook group, or if you have friends that are in the planner community, you basically want to talk to as many people as you can, see if they actually like your products. I would, go as far as saying maybe send some people some products to review and take a look at so that you can really get a sense if your quality is where the market expects it to be. The last thing you're going to want to do when you are doing your market research is really figure out and pinpoint what you want your marketing strategy to be. Now, I'm not going to talk about marketing strategies in this video because I've already done a video on it. I'll link it down below to my Glampire chat with Lisa Marie of Paper and Glam. Our last Glampire chat, we talked all about marketing, and that should help give you some really good insight into how you can create your own marketing strategy. But make sure that while you are doing your market research, that you are giving some thought to how you want to market your products. And the next really big thing you want to think about if you're going to start an online shop is how to price your products. Now, based on the types of products and or services that you are going to be providing in your shop, And I say services because many people, specifically on Etsy, they will maybe sell a product like custom dividers, but they'll also take individual orders or, make custom items as well. So I consider that more of a service, although you are giving a product in the end. So just wanted to clear that up for any of you who may have questions about why I'm saying services. But really, based on what your business model is, you are going to be able to do really easy research online and find out a really good formula for how you should be pricing your products. There really are a variety of different formulas out there, and I would hesitate to give you guys one formula because it won't be a one-size-fits-all scenario. So do a little bit of research, figure out how to do pricing based on your business model, and you should be able to figure out something that really works for you. Next, I really suggest that you take a look around the internet and see what the pricing of your competitors are, and really see if you are pricing your products competitively. Now, I tend to be someone who has no fear of raising the price on my products. Obviously, I sell a lot of digital inserts, and there are plenty of people who sell digital inserts, but I personally find that because of the way that I create my inserts and the quality that my inserts really reflect because of expensive software and design background that I may have, I am not afraid to price my products a little bit higher. So if that's a situation that you find yourself in, do a little bit of market research, see where things are at, but don't feel like you have to be pricing things the exact same way as everybody else. Because really, your pricing is really going to really be a reflection of your business model again, and the materials that you're using and the time you're spending. So make sure that you're really looking around, seeing what other people are pricing similar items for, but make sure you're going back to that formula. And then finally, my last tip on pricing would honestly be to get feedback from consumers, right? See if people think your products are the quality that they would expect from the price that you want to sell them at, right? That's very important that people feel like they're getting, the right quality for the right price. So make sure you're doing some research on your pricing as well. And now, after you've got all of that down, you have to start selling. If you have a shop, you really need to put your sales hat on and really start promoting your products. So talk about your products whenever you can. Obviously, don't be spammy. No one likes a spammer. But make sure that you're telling people about your shop and about your products. No one's ever going to buy from you if they don't know you're there. And that really goes back to marketing as well. So make sure you check out that marketing video I have linked down below. But use whatever methods you have at your disposal, like social media, your website, other friends that you might have within whatever community you belong to really get the word out about your products so that you can start making money. Okay, so those were my tips on how to start an online shop. Now I want to talk to you guys about how you can work with me if that sounds like an option that you would be interested in. As some of you guys may already know, I do have an online coaching program for online business owners called Empire Building. And there's a few different ways that you guys can actually work with me, including one new way that I'm going to be announcing at the end of this video. So how can you work with me? Number one, you could work with me by purchasing the individual workbooks in my Empire Building program. Right now, 4 workbooks are out. I just launched my advertising workbook this week. So the 4th workbook is out and the 5th one will be out in July. But you can purchase whatever topic of workbook that you're looking for. So I've got a branding workbook, a community building workbook, a communication workbook, an advertising workbook, and then my final workbook, which will be out next month, is on income streams. So you could purchase an individual workbook and really work through the book and the worksheets inside the book to develop your own plan for whatever area it is that you need a little bit of help with. This is more of like a self-study option if you want to save yourself some money, but you want to get as much info as you can and do a little bit of research without having to search all over the internet. I've done a lot of work for you. I've given you guys my best tips, tricks, and advice inside of these workbooks. So definitely check out the workbooks if the self-study option is what you're looking for. Next, I do have a blueprint level path in my Empire Building program, which basically means that you get access to all of my workbooks And then you get access to a Facebook group, a private Facebook group that's run by me, where I'm providing additional resources on a regular basis, as well as group coaching. So it basically gives you priority Q&A with me in this group. So it's your way to work directly with me if you're someone who, wants to use the workbooks, but also wants to have access to me, like unlimited, basically, through this group, as well as just be part of a community of individuals on the Facebook page who are really like-minded individuals who are trying to achieve very similar things as you. I think that really being part of a community, especially when you are trying to start a business, is so important. And I really think that that is the best thing about being in that blueprint level path, is that you're really getting that community access, which I think is really invaluable. The next way that you can work with me is through my architect level path, which again gives you access to all of my workbooks. It gives you access to the Facebook group and all of the good fun stuff that happens over there. But I also will give you 2 coaching calls with me, 2 one-hour coaching calls, where we will talk about the issues going on in your business or that you're having with starting your business, and really get my one-on-one support with answering your questions and really helping you come up with a plan to get your business off the ground. In addition to that, you also get a custom content development action plan from me, which is basically a roadmap that I create for you based on your situation, and I give you basically I tell you exactly what I would do if I was in your scenario, which I know a lot of people have found that these content development action plans are really, really helpful, and it's a really good custom way to get a lot of really good, valuable information out of me and out of my course. And now the 4th and final way you can work with me is through a live shop review. So many of you have asked me for one-to-one coaching sessions, just an individual coaching session, so that I can review your business plan, talk to you about what your plans are, and even review your shop for you before it goes live, or perhaps it's already gone live and you just really need someone's eyes on your shop and what you're doing, someone who knows what you're going through and has been there and done that. So if you are looking for just a one-off situation where you just want to talk to me one-on-one about your business, the shop review is for you. It will be a 1-hour live chat on Skype or on the phone, whatever method works for you. And we schedule that out at a time that's convenient for both you and I. But basically, you get me for an hour. You send me all of the links you want me to review ahead of time. Send me questions or topics that you're really stuck on and you want my input on. And I do my research, get on that call with you, and do the live review. And of course, you have plenty of opportunity to ask me lots more questions when we're one-to-one on the call. So that is the 4th and final way that you can work with me directly if you need some help with your online shop. So I hope this video has been informative for you. I know that this has been really highly requested, and so many of you are really so, you guys all have this entrepreneurial spirit, and I see that so strongly in the planner community and the online crafting and scrapbook community. And I really think it is wonderful. And I'm really trying to be here as a resource for you, which is why I make these videos. And which is why I spend so much time developing products and answering questions. But if there is a way that I can help you, let me know, because I'm totally open to it. So I hope this video has been helpful and you got some really great tips and tricks. Let me know down in the comments if you liked this video or if you have any additional questions. Of course, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and you want me to do more videos like this. And of course, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos by me. And until next time, you guys, bye-bye.